Robotics is a very compelling investment theme at the moment, purely because we're seeing a big uptake from industries, not just from manufacturing anymore, but from other areas of the investment world. Take, for example, in elderly healthcare. Japan has decided that they will be spending 1/3 of their robotics budget purely on helping the elderly. Or take farming, for instance. We're seeing a big pickup in demand there. For instance, tractors now can drive autonomously and crop fields autonomously, or even fruit picking. Has historically been a very mundane task for individuals to pick out the bad fruits can now be done much more quickly and efficiently by a robot. Surgical procedures. Back in 2013, there were 2,000 surgical procedures globally involving robots. Now we see, in 2014, we saw 22,000 surgical procedures. So we're seeing a big pickup in the healthcare field. Also, robots accessing inaccessible areas, such as highly radioactive areas, and also the traditional area of manufacturing. If you look at manufacturing, particularly in the car industry in Japan, there are 1,400 robots per 10,000 employees. Look across the rest of the developed world, you see that's much, much lower. For instance, in Germany, it's between 700 to 800 robots per 10,000 employees, and as low as 200 in other European countries. So there's great room for much further robot penetration around the world, particularly in emerging markets. China, a big manufacturing base, has only around 90 robots per 10,000 employees. And we see that with wages growing at 17% year on year, there's great potential for a pickup in robot usage. In fact, if you look at the average Foxconn salary, multiply that by 2 because a robot can work 24 hours, we find that a robot unit cost versus a 2-year salary of an individual are about equal now. So unit costs are improving for robots all the time, making it a much more viable long-term investment for companies. There are a few issues with robots though. There are criticisms particularly around robots displacing people's jobs. In our view, this is not unusual, and it's happened throughout history. Take, for instance, secretarial work in the United States. That has fallen 70% since the 1970s. And that's purely because, or a large part of it due to the onset of Microsoft Outlook and other electronic mailing programs. Essentially, the role of a secretary is redundant. But what we find is those individuals end up changing their jobs, retraining, etc. And also, through recent technological advancement, we're seeing a big pickup in other areas, for instance, database administrators or network architects, for instance. These areas crucial to the electronics and robotics industry does create other areas. So in all, what we're seeing is actually a fairly balanced job market in the coming few years, and so it's unlikely in the longer term we'll see massive job reductions for the net economy.